Bonjour chers étudiants, chers apprenants. Good morning, dear learners of French. Today our lesson is going to be about office and office equipment. So as a French students or people who are learning French and at the same time working, you should be able to describe your office and know things that are in your office. Donc l'objectif de ce jour est le bureau et les meubles, décrire un bureau et la conjugaison, le futur simple. So you are going to talk about office and equipment, and if you know this equipment, you'll be able to describe your office, what is in the office, and you also look at the conjugation of the future, meaning you'll be able to tell your intention, thing you want to do in future. Let's go with the following expression vocabularies on office equipment. Example, le bureau. So I have the French and English. I'll read only the French, leaving the English aside, which is le bureau, which is an office, la table, une chaise roulante, un ordinateur, une imprimante, imprimer un document, un photocopieur, papier A4 ou papier A3. Photocopier un document, envoyer un document par mail, pièce jointe. So if you are sending a mail and you attach the document, we say it pièce jointe. Okay, envoyer un document par mail, pièce jointe. Now, envoyer un courriel, to send a mail, recevoir un courriel, which is receive a mail. Répondre à un courriel ou répondre par courriel. So to respond to a mail or to respond to a mail through a mail or not by a phone call. Somebody can send a mail, but you can call the person as a way to do a follow-up or to respond to that message. Documents privés, documents officiels, les documents de l'entreprise, un réfrigérateur, un ventilateur, un climatiseur, une télévision. So these are things that you can use to describe an office. Okay, if you have them in your office, you should be able to describe it by mentioning their names. Décrire un bureau, to describe an office. How do you do so? Pour décrire un bureau, on dit dans mon bureau il y a, then you add things that are in the office. Example, we have Mr. Ohene who wants to tell us about his office. Okay. Otin, comment est ton nouveau bureau? Mon bureau est grand. Il a des rideaux, une table, une chaise roulante, un ordinateur, une imprimante et du papier A4. Il y a aussi un réfrigérateur, un ventilateur et une télévision. So you can see that Mr. Otin is describing his office to Mr. Ohene, who wants to know how his office is. Exercise 1, which exercise 1. Today is your first day at work as a sales manager. You call your father or mother to describe your new office and its equipment. So you write in French by describing your office to your mom. You can do so on the full conversation as it's stated. Conjugaison. So you are going to do conjugation and the tense will be the future. Le futur, the future tense is used to indicate the type of an action or an event which has not yet occurred. We distinguish le futur simple, which is the future, the normal one, and le futur proche, which is the immediate future. But today we will not talk about the immediate future. We are going to talk more about the futur simple. The French distinguish three groups of verbs, namely, the first group ER verbs, second group IR with present participle in isan. Indeed, There are some verbs that are IR, but since they don't form their present participle in Isan, they are not qualified to be called second group verbs. If you have partir, venir, they end with IR. Nevertheless, they don't form their present participle in Isan. Like if you have choisir, we say choisir en choisissant, finir en finissant. Okay, applaudir, to clap, applaudir, en applaudissant. Okay, so you see those verbs that I just mentioned, we form their present participle in Isan, are verbs that we can classify as what second group verbs. Now, to help you with the third group verbs, which sometimes I call it a dustbin, any verb which does not conform to the first group, neither does it also conform with the second group, it's automatically rejected into the third group. So the third group verb don't have any particular specification. If you know the first group verb and their characteristic, if you know the second group and their characteristic, any verb that does not satisfy these two conditions is automatically classified as what? A third group verb. So bear that in mind. Thank you. Now, to conjugate verbs of the first group, which is ER verbs, okay, what do? Verbs of the second group, which is also IR verbs, and some verbs of the third group, you have to add to the infinitive the following. Example, AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. And I take it again. Pour conjuguer les verbes du premier groupe ou du deuxième groupe et certains verbes du troisième groupe, il suffit d'ajouter, n'est-ce pas, à l'infinitif les terminaisons suivantes. AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, ONT. Exemple, we have chanter, to sing. Je chanterai. If you look at that chanter, the root is chant and the ER, that makes it infinitive, is also there. Putting it together, have chanté. But you see the infinitive, to conjugate it, I will sing. You write again the infinitive, then you add the AI to it. And the AI is the ending that you may add to the infinitive to form a future. When the subject is je. When it is tu, you add AS. When it is il or elle, you add A. Okay? And so on, so forth. Example, parler. Je parlerai. Tu parleras. Have you seen? Let's continue. For verbs ending in DRE, TRE, IRE, ok? Donc, pour les verbes qui se terminent en DRE, TRE, IRE, on ajoute, sinon on supprime le E et on ajoute les terminaisons. So, for such verb, you have to cancel the E of the infinitive. Then you add the endings to it. Okay? Example, prendre. Have you seen prendre? It had R-E, D-R-E. So you remove the E and you say, je prendrai, tu prendras, il prendra, nous prendrons, dot, 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 dot. Mettre, to put, mettre. Okay, je mettrai, tu mettras. That is, after you have cancelled the E, you add those endings to it. For verbs of the third group, the conjugation varies. So there's no much clear cuts for verbs of the third group. You only refer to your conjugation book and then you'll be able to know how each of these verbs behaves in terms of the future tense. I have an example of conjugation here. So you have the subject pronouns, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il or elle with S plural. And their endings with the je, you add AS, AI, tu, you add AS, il or elle, you add A, nous, you add ONS, vous, you add EZ, il or elle, you add ONT. So chanter, je chanterai, tu chanteras, il chantera, nous chanterons, vous chanterez, ils chanteront. Parler, je parlerai, tu parleras, il parlera, nous parlerons, vous parlerez, ils parleront. Ok? Regarder, je regarderai, tu regarderas, il regardera, nous regarderons, vous regarderez, ils regarderont. So ici, all these three verbs, chanter, parler, regarder, are first group verbs. So for such verb, you don't touch, you don't do anything. You only add those endings to the infinitive. Thank you. Let's move on. If you have verb like finir, partir, venir et faire, you can see that they vary a little. Finir, which is the second group verb, behave just like the first group verb. You add the AI, the endings to it. For example, finir, je finirai, tu finiras, il finira. Nous finirons, vous finirez, ils finiront. Have you seen? Now partir, which is also a third group verb, it ends with IA, but it's not second group because it says the present participle is not in innocent. It is en partant. Okay, it's not innocent, it's a partant. And for that matter, it's put to the second group. Venir also ends with IA, but it's not the second group verb in the sense that it forms a present participle in en venant. En venant is not in innocent. So both partir and venir are put in the third group. Faire does not even respond to first group verb, which is ER, and it doesn't respond to the second group condition IR, it is RE. So it's automatically put in the third group. And see how it behaves. Faire. You don't say je ferai with the AIR, then AI to it. No, it has changed altogether. Now, let's read with partir. Partir, je partirai, tu partiras, il partira. Nous partirons, vous partirez, ils partiront. Venir, repeat after me. I hope so. I hope you are repeating all this while. Je viendrai, tu viendras, il viendra. Nous viendrons, vous viendrez, ils viendront. Faire, je ferai, tu feras, il fera. Nous ferons, vous ferez, ils feront. Avoir, écrire, être, aller, voir. To have, j'aurai, tu auras, il aura. Nous aurons, vous aurez, ils auront. Écrire, to write. J'écrirai, tu écriras, il écrira. Nous écrirons, vous écrirez, ils écriront. Être. Je serai, tu seras, il sera. Nous serons, vous serez, ils seront. Aller. J'irai, tu iras, il ira. Nous irons, vous irez, ils iront. Voir. Je verrai, tu verras, il verra. Nous verrons, vous verrez, ils verront. Okay, so now you have finished conjugation these ones, conjugating them. Now, this is an exercise number 2. Faites une phrase au futur simple avec chacun des verbes suivants. Okay, use each of the following verbs to make a sentence. Use the future tense. And the following verbs are manger, parler, inviter, livrer, commander, importer, acheter, partir, regarder, exporter, voyager, écouter, vendre, prendre, venir, écrire, devenir, aller, d'écrire et lire. Lire is to read. Thank you. Devoir de maison, which is homework. If you win a lottery of 2,000 Ghana, what will you do with the money? So obviously what you are going to say will be in the future. Exercise number 2. In a phone conversation, you and your friend explain what each other will do during the long vacation. Write in French. I thank you for coming for today's lesson. We are done and we hope to meet another day. Thank you for coming. Bye bye. Au revoir.